Yo, what's up guys, Ice Not Shiest here, and today we're going to be talking about Hardball VR, at least for the Quest. So I've known about this game for a little bit, and I was pretty hyped for it. I've seen the footage on a PC VR, and it looks pretty dope. Like, you're just kind of like John Wick, like you're killing dudes, like there's all like the gore stuff, like the meat grinder and stuff. So it looks pretty cool. And I've got PC right now, I got PC VR, so I was just hoping that one day I'll get Quest Sport. And about a month ago I learned it did, so I was like, hey, we up, like we about to be gaming good, folks. And then it comes out like a couple days ago. I copped it, I'm like, yo, let's go, it's about to be dope, about to make some crazy maneuvers and stuff. And like, I had fun while I'm playing it, but I think the issue is trying to find the words for it. Even like, it's a decent time to, like, when you're just actually playing it just in the moment, but it's the way it's all rung together. I think that overall the experience, while it's fun, it's just kind of like whatever. The scope of the game is good. There's like an arena mode, sandbox, like a patrol mode. Like, there's a decent amount of stuff going on for a sandbox, but it's just like it's the glue. I'd say it's the glue of the game it's not doing it for me. Alright guys, so this is the scoring rubric I'll be using for my videos. You can see on the screen here, I just kind of subdivide them off into different parts, and then I elaborate more on each section in its given part. And then right here, I just tally up the scores of all the individual parts, and then it'll add up to like one of these numbers, and that like gives you a pretty good gauge of like how good the game is. Alright, we're gonna start off by talking about the gameplay a little bit. But actually, before I do, I'm gonna show you like the trailer of the game, so like you can see like how the game is like supposed to be played. And, like, when this game's at its peak and you're playing it the right way, like, it's really dope. I'll show you what I'm talking about with the trailer here.
The answer is oh my god, yeah, this one sound like oh my god, yeah, this one feel like oh my god, yeah, this one sound like right to the top of the hill, now I'm on top and I'm ready for war. Icy, I be sliding, all green lights, I got it. Get in my part of the deal, trust, man in the scale, man in the steel, try me and see how I feel. Need everybody to chill, Nintendo, I'm switching it all up, get it off.
Alright, so like, as you can see from the trailer, like the peak gameplay moments, like, it's dope. Like, there's a lot of stuff you can do. It's action packed and stuff, but it's not always like that. It's like top moments, and like, while the average player will be able to find out a lot, it's just that sometimes it feels like you're fighting against the game itself. So I got some footage here of me playing the game personally, but before I like talk about that, I want to talk about like a different aspect of the gameplay, which is like like the game options and stuff, like what you can actually do in this game. And there's a decent bit to do. There's an arena mode, sandbox, and patrol mode, right? What I'm doing right now is this is the patrol mode, and basically just waves of enemies come at you, and you have to progress through the levels, and you can upgrade, and you gotta upgrade your guns and stuff by like the better, like, you gotta, how to describe it, you gain money by like doing cool shit, is what I'll say. So then it's like, it encourages player creativity, so then that's how you get like more money and stuff, and then you can get better guns to do cooler things. And so that's the patrol mode, and there's 3 options for that, for like how long you want it to be, which is pretty cool. And then there's the sandbox mode, which has a few maps, and then like the arena mode, which is just like they just come at you, but it's like a free mode also. So yeah, there's a decent amount of stuff to do. It's not just like always mindlessly killing dudes just because. There's also like weapon skins too that you can work for, and I really appreciate that they like give you something to actually like strive for. I think I don't know how it works completely. I didn't actually look at it that much, but you have to get like a certain amount of kills, certain amount of headshots and stuff like that to unlock the skins. And they have one for like every single gun in the game. So if you're a perfectionist, you'll find a good amount of hours in this game trying to collect all the skins and stuff like that. Alright, so for all those reasons I just listed, I'm going to be giving the gameplay of Hard Build a 7.5 out of 10. Alright, so now I'm going to be talking about the interactions of the game, which is kind of like how it operates and feels as a VR game, and it's pretty good. You know, the ragdoll physics are pretty good, which is what I like to see in VR. I feel like a lot of VR games struggle with that for some reason, but they're pretty good here. And everything is physics based. Like you can, like if a guy's pointing a gun at you, you can like unload his gun and like slap him in the face like with his own mag. Like it's cool. There's a lot of agency with what you can do and perform like cool stunts and stuff when it works. And on the screen right now I'm showing like good examples and bad examples, because sometimes like the physics feel right and sometimes they don't. Mostly where the issues come in is the enemies feel kind of weightless. They're kind of like, the enemies in this game are pretty useless. They don't really put up a good fight, which is, you know, it's like a sandbox John Wick game. They don't have to be like kicking your ass or anything, but with them being useless, they like struggle to, they feel kind of weightless is what I'm trying to say. Sometimes like you'll punch them and they instantly drop. They don't like, you don't feel that like that oomph of like a human body. I feel like Bone Lab does that pretty well, having the weight of it. But sometimes these characters can feel kind of floaty. It's not the biggest deal in the world. The interactions are still great, but it's something that if you're focusing, you can notice a little bit. It's definitely more prominent in like the melee combat, especially hand to hand. It's kind of feels weightless sometimes. Like my punches don't got that oomph behind them, and I'm not really sure if I'm damaging the enemy or not, and they kind of just keel over. So it's like, oh, okay. But even with that being said, on the video here, you can see I turned this guy's gun as he was shooting at me, and he shot his teammate, which is really cool. And another good thing to do is you can utilize your environment a lot. There's like hooks in the map. There's like meat grinders and like there's a bunch of stuff, and you can use that to take out the guys, and it's pretty dope when it works good. It's like this game is like a 60-40 split of it feeling pretty awesome and it like kind of like not giving the feedback I feel like it should all the time. The weapon manipulation is pretty decent. You can throw the gun in the air and like rack it without like you can, you know what I'm saying, you can throw it in the air and rack it by the bolt. I'm not a gun person, but the slide or whatever it's called, you can do that. And yeah, it's pretty cool. The manipulation is alright, but you can only reload with the button, and it kind of like auto reloads, kind of snaps in there. You can't like miss the reload, so it's pretty generous with that, which is fine. Like I know other games have physics based reloads, and I personally love how those feel, but you know, it's nothing wrong, just like a little assisted reload, it's chill. But the actual gunplay, kind of below average in my opinion. The recoil, I'm pretty sure it's just like a set recoil thing, if that makes sense. Like it's obviously, since it's a VR game, it's different and it's all physics based, but there's levels to it. Like Tactical Assault VR, I feel like has fully physics based recoil, and this is kind of like a middle ground. I hope that makes sense. I hope y'all get what I'm trying to say. The recoil is just kind of like pretty standard, you know, pretty average, what I'm trying to get at there. And so yeah, the overall like feel of the guns is nothing to write home about, but it's not bad whatsoever. Another big thing with the interactions in this game is obviously the gore. It's a pretty big part of the game, and it's pretty good, you know. Like you can chop people's heads off, you can blow their heads up, chop off their arms, blow their arms and legs off, and it's pretty good. It's satisfying, it's gruesome, it's like, I'd say probably one of the best games for gore physics that we have in VR. So to conclude the interaction section, to sum it all up, I'll say feels great when it's working right, which is about 60% of the time, and about the other 40% of the time it kind of can feel a little light on the, like it's not that weighty, things like that, and just things like won't respond how you expect it to. And the guns are pretty generic, but overall it's pretty good. Alright, so I'm gonna be giving the interactions a 7.5 out of 10. They're usually like pretty great, just a little jank here and there, but other than that, they're good. This game has pretty interesting graphics. They're definitely not bad at all. I'd say they're I'd say they're like above average for a VR game, maybe, but you can definitely tell it's just a downgrade of a PC VR game and not built up from the Quest. Like even Onward is a downgrade of a PC VR game. They downgrade everything. I already made a video about that, but anyway, like the graphics are nice and sharp. It has a nice style and lighting and everything. Another example would be like Breachers VR. The game has a great art style, great art direction. The graphics are amazing, even though they're like not the most like quote unquote realistic. They work very well in the Quest headset. Here it's kind of, these are like, it's not assets, but it looks like an asset flip. Like there's not really an art style to it. They're kind of just like guys and spaces, you know what I mean? The lighting's not crazy, nothing like that's crazy. It gets the job done, but it's pretty bland. Again, not to call it bad or anything, but there's just like no real style or direction. Alrighty, so overall I'm gonna be giving the graphics a 6.5 out of 10. A little bit, they're above average, they get the job done. It's just they lack direction for me and look pretty bland. I'd say overall the audio in this game is pretty good. The guns sound kind of lackluster, but other than that, like the enemies scream and shit, and like you can really hear like the gushiness of like when you're stabbing people or shooting people in close quarters, and like when you're laying down the ground, you can like hear blood spilling out, and they'll scream and stuff when you're like throwing them off ledges. So yeah, I'd say overall the audio in this game is pretty good. Nothing crazy, but it shines in some aspects. Alright, so overall I'm gonna give the audio a 3 out of 5. Jesus. Just a little bit below average. Nothing crazy, but not bad at all. Nothing too crazy to say about the UI in this game. It's kind of, I'd say it's like low-key below average, but it gets the job done. It's just not that appealing, but that's just kind of like a nitpick. It's efficient enough, so the UI is alright in this game. Definitely like a VR UI, if that makes sense. If you play a lot of VR games, what I'm talking about, they all kind of like follow the same trends with the UI, and when it's good, you can notice it, but when it's meh, it's alright. Nothing crazy. Alright, so I'm gonna be giving the UI a 3 out of 5. Like I said, with the audio, just a little bit above average. Not bad, not great, just like gets the job done type. So in this review, I might have like sounded like I'm being harsh in the game, but like, let me stress, it's a good game. It's like fun. It's probably like the best like John Wick style type game sandbox we got in VR right now. Like I even say it does some things better than Bone Lab. Definitely with like the enemy types and stuff, and actually having like enemies that shoot back and stuff like that. It does that better than Bone Lab. So it's a great sandbox. It's good to just jump in, you know, mindlessly punch some dudes and shoot some people and blow people up and stuff. And so that's great, but that's about it. You know, you're not gonna, there's no story or nothing. Like I said, it's average in most roads, but the gameplay interaction is good. So that's what you're coming here for, and I'd say it does that pretty well. So overall, I'll give a conclusion score of 7.5 out of 10 to Hard Bullet VR, which brings its final score to 35 out of 50. It's a good game. I recommend it. Nothing too deep, but it's good to just drop in, have some mindless fun, and crack some heads open. Crack some heads open. Dude, I gotta work on like my speech, bro. Yo guys, let me know down in the comments like if I need to like really lock in on talking, because I feel like that's like a lackluster part of my videos. But I don't go off a script or nothing. I just kind of be like, I have what I want to say in my mind. At least it's like a general idea, then just kind of start yapping about it. So let me know if it's like that's too distracting. But I don't know. Even right now, I'm rambling. I'll probably edit this part out. Anyway, guys, side tangent aside, yeah, overall, I'll recommend Hard Bullet VR. If you want like 15% off, message me down in the comment section. I'll give you my meta. I'll add you. I can give you a 15% off code. But yeah, that's about it. That's gonna do it for today's video. I feel like I'm better at talking. Like, I want to make a different channel for just like playing games, like long play videos, because I feel like I'm good at like improvising when it's like I have to interact with the world and stuff. But right now I'm just sitting in front of my mic and I just have to like think, but my brain moves too slow, my mouth moves too slow to really convey what I'm trying to say properly. But I'm not gonna sit here and stress about it too much, you know. I'm trying to pump these videos out, get my grind up, get some exposure. But yeah, anyway, I'm yapping a lot in today's episode. That's gonna do it. Episode. This isn't an episode. This is a YouTube video where I'm not making a TV show here. That's gonna do it for today's video, guys. You know, like and subscribe. Hit that bell. Yeah, I'll see y'all in the next one. Peace.